Yes, I think that Judge Thomas has been a dynamic witness in his own behalf. I think that his coming back last night at 9 o'clock was very, very forceful, and I think he's been very forceful today. And I think his testimony about the perception of an African-American man in terms of the lynchings being associated with sexuality and sexual prowess and physical sexual attributes has just been dynamite. I had no idea that that was here at all, but given his very strong reasons for rejecting that kind of language, I think it is a significant, if not a key point, on his credibility as to whether he would have used language like that.
Why would Ms. Hill, a black female, engage in those stereotypes?
Well, I can't answer the question as to why Professor Hill has said what she has said. That's something we're still examining. But I find it very hard to understand. Listen, she said yesterday that in retrospect, she found it very hard to understand what she did herself. But I think it is not only inexplicable, it is worse when she comes in and denies yesterday morning under oath that a Senate staffer told her that if she came forward and moved through the process, Thomas might withdraw, denies that flatly, and then she comes back in the afternoon and changes her testimony.
Senator, the facts of the case aside, hasn't this become a referendum on sexual harassment to the point where members are going to have a very difficult time voting for him?
Well, I think that the issue of sexual harassment is very central, and it has touched a very raw nerve with the women of America, and understandably. And I think the women of America have been badly mistreated on the issue of sexual harassment for years. I used to deal with these issues when I was district attorney in Philadelphia a long time ago, and Senator Danforth and Jeffords and I have been working hard to get a civil rights bill which would protect women from sexual harassment, specifically on this point, so that if you talk about the women's issue on sexual harassment, I think the women have been mistreated, and this whole issue has brought this raw nerve right out into open. But I think that important as sexual harassment is, that you have to take a look at whether Judge Thomas is guilty of it, and everybody abhors sexual harassment. But we have to make a determination factually as to whether this man is guilty of that horrendous conduct.
Hatch's line of questioning implying that she was flat out fabricating these charges?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Was Hatch's line of questioning implying that she was flat out fabricating the charges?
I think that's what Senator Hatch is moving at, and this afternoon I intend to go back over her testimony yesterday, which I think will show that her credibility was demolished on a number of key points.
Do you think she fabricated those things?
I'm not prepared to come to a generalized conclusion on the whole matter. I do believe that with respect to the USA Today article where she denied that a staffer told her that Thomas might be compelled to withdraw, that was flat out wrong, and that she knew it and said so in the afternoon. Now that's a very, very important point. If you want to prove conclusively that someone has not told the truth, it's very hard to do, but I think there in one day on the record you have it. And there are many strong indicators on other issues which I've described.
Would you want her to come back?
So much talk about staff.
Would you want her to come back?
Are you concerned that this staff question is tearing apart the Judiciary Committee? I mean, from in an executive session and some of the senators' comments about each other's staff.
Am I worried that the staff talk is tearing apart the Senate Judiciary Committee? No.
It's sad also, sir, that if she has lied, because for this reason, I mean, she is a black person who's worked her way up hard, and there she is. But if she's lied, it makes it very, very sad.
Well, that's something that the hearing is about, and something we have to proceed to examine. Okay.
You don't think they're going to tear apart?